You won't land a data analyst job until you learn this. There's one mistake that I see a lot of aspiring data analysts make when they're trying to break into data analytics, and I was making the same exact mistake until I learned this, which ultimately helped me in landing my first job opportunity. When people approach me about breaking into data analytics, or I even see on other pages as well on social media, when people are trying to break into data analytics, they always ask the same type of question: what tools should I learn? Should I learn Excel? Should I learn SQL? Should I learn Python? Should I learn Power BI, Tableau? Should I learn R? It's always about what tools should I learn. But no one really, I can't remember anyone actually asking me about the soft skills that's involved in being a data analyst, which is very, very important as well. In fact, the job that I'm currently doing now, I got hired because of my soft skills. Nothing to do with my technical side at all. I'll say um, I got hired 90% because of my soft skills, okay? And my technical side, they just trusted me to sort of, be able to learn it, because they picked up on my soft skill that when I don't know something, I'll go out my way to go and learn it and find it. And that was enough for them, you know. They could tell that I'm someone that enjoys learning. They're someone that I know if I don't know something, I'll do whatever it takes to be able to find a solution. They could get that, they got that impression from me. And that was enough for them to hire me, you know. And, a couple of months in, and, my technical side have been put to a test, but, I've overcome all the challenges. It's not been easy, but, I've overcome all the challenges, but primarily it was because of my soft skills that got me hired. So let me take you through the process of how I got this job. So the first stage, obviously, after I did the application, and then the next stage was to do a presentation and present it to the hiring managers, who are currently my managers now, via Teams. Okay, so I had to do the presentation. The presentation was they gave me a report that I had to analyze. Okay, and the report was about a real life situation that the company is actually facing, and I had to go through it and basically give my recommendations, my solutions, and how I'll tackle that problem. So I did the presentation, nice presentation, and even during the presentation, I didn't really have to use any technical things. In fact, the only technical thing I did was I used Excel to create like a basic chart to just prove a point in my presentation. That was it. I didn't really have to do a lot of technical things. And the next stage after I passed the initial assessment stage was to have a face-to-face interview. And the face-to-face interview I had to do firstly, they gave me another set of reports again, two reports this time, and they gave me only 30 minutes to analyze the report and again make recommendations, find solutions, and present it to them again. But this time, obviously, the challenge was I had only 30 minutes to do two reports, whereas before I had, all the time in the world because I was doing it at home and then presenting it, on the deadline or on the interview day. But on the face-to-face one, they only gave me 30 minutes to do that, and I only managed to get through one report. And I was honest to them about it, like, look, I only managed to get through one. The time went really quickly, and they're like, we didn't expect you to be able to, do all of it anyway, so that's fine. But they just wanted to do that to assess how I work, sort of thing. And it went very well, and I got hired. So my technical side did not get tested at all, but they just trusted that I'll be able to handle it. And then when I actually landed the job as well, the first 3 months I didn't really use a lot of technical things. I did because they had their own dashboard on Power BI that they've already built. Okay, and I had to write a lot of reports instead. I did a couple of visualizations in Power BI, but I didn't really have to use any DAX code or anything like that to do that. So mostly I was just going to the dashboard that they already built, getting the data, and then making analysis, and then I had to present a lot of these things to people, to heads of services, and that sort of thing. And yeah, so the charts were there, was just there, and I'll just make analysis and write reports and that sort of thing. So the first 3 months, that's what I was doing, and then over time, now I'm starting to use the technical side a bit more now. Okay, so now the technical side is coming in now. The dashboard that they have, I'm rebuilding all the dashboards for all the departments. Which is like quite. I'm rebuilding it and improving on what they have, and it's very challenging because obviously the person that built the initial dashboard had a lot of experience, and I'm trying to better what they've done, which has been quite a bit of a challenge, and that's what I've been working on right now. But that's also going well, and I've sort of been learning on the job. I went there just really being able to create, basic visuals in Power BI, but now I'm having to use DAX code to um, make something more advanced and more robust that all the departments are going to use and make decisions based upon, which sometimes when I think about it, I'm thinking, wow, like what have I got myself into, but it's getting there, slowly I'm learning more and more about Power BI as I go along, and the company I'm working for now, I think before I joined they used to use Excel mainly, and then they improved and started using more Power BI, and now we're advancing more. We started to introduce things like SQL, Python, R programming. We've sort of even going more towards data science stuff now, So yeah, all the technical things that I'm doing now, I had to sort of learn on the job. And one tool that has been very helpful in the process is ChatGPT. You know, I use ChatGPT a lot, and in fact, all my colleagues do, and a lot of people that work in all these roles use ChatGPT a lot. It's there to be used, So the technical side is great. You need to know it because you are gonna be doing uh, technical things, but your soft skills, trust me, is very, very important. Okay, you have to focus as well on your soft skills. So if soft skills are important, then what sort of soft skills do you need to have? So as a data analyst, you need to work a lot on your critical thinking. Okay, you need to be able to ask why and how things happen, and that kind of thing. You need to be able to critically think about situations before coming up with a solution. Is very, very important. Okay, critical thinking. As a data analyst, you need to have good attention to detail. It's very important because you work with numbers and data. You get one data wrong, you know it can just mess up everything, leading to the company making the wrong decisions. And sometimes, depending on what company you're working at, it can cost you billions. It can cost you billions. Okay, so, and you wouldn't want that to be on your head. So you have to have great attention to detail. Okay, so you can't ignore that, of course. And then as a data analyst, you need to be a good problem solver. If you can't solve problems, you know, then you can't be a data analyst, because all you do is solving problems. You're taking um, data and using the data to help companies solve problems. You need to be able to do that, and it's something that can also be learned as well. So work on your problem solving skills. Okay, as a data analyst, for me, one of the eye openers for me is my communication skills. Communication is very, very important, because the type of people I'm communicating with, sometimes is beyond me. I'm communicating with directors and heads of services and that sort of thing. And your communication skills is very, very important, because they don't have a lot of time, and they've got other things to focus on, and sometimes they don't really understand the technical side of things. Okay, they don't really understand the technical side of things, and sometimes they might have unrealistic expectations, or they might give you projects to do with very little deadline, because they don't know what it takes to create like the sort of things like that they're asking for sometimes. And if your communication skills are not important, you'll be getting yourself in a lot of difficult situations where you'll be over promising and then under delivering. So sometimes, imagine you're going to like the director of the the company or a certain department or whatever, and you're telling them, what, I know you asked for this, but um I can't deliver it at this sort of time, because I need more time. I'm also working on this project, and this, you have to be able to communicate. You also have to remember, they don't understand the technical side and they don't have time to learn it. So it's up to you to be able to communicate the technical side in a non-technical way that they can understand as well. And yeah, so your communication skills will definitely be put to the test. So you have to also work on that. Work on that by doing, presenting to family and friends, and putting yourself out there and reading and whatnot. But your communication skills is key. and of course your presentation skills, so as a data analyst, you find yourself, doing a lot of presentation. I'll never forget one of the first presentations that I had to do, and I sort of found out last minute that I'll be doing this presentation to like the heads of the services or whatnot. And when I had to do the presentation, I never used two screens before as I've got here, okay, and I didn't know how to project my presentation and share my presentation with the people on the right screen. That was my first time using two screens, and it was a nightmare. And I'm there struggling trying to get the right presentation up, and they're just sitting there, like, oh, this guy's wasting our time. You could just see on their faces like they're not happy. And it took a couple of seconds or a minute or so, but yeah, they were not happy, and I'm there just clicking away, just trying to figure out this thing, and it was very embarrassing, you know. And yeah, so that's how one of my first presentations went. But over time I've just got better and better. But your presentation skills, trust me, is very, very important. How you break the technical information down to for non-technical people to be able to understand, and is very, very key. And that goes on to storytelling. As a data analyst, you need to be able to tell a good story. When you're analyzing, that's one thing I learned as well about storytelling. How you present the information. You sort of have to flow to keep them engaged. Otherwise, people will just be sitting there like, just bored, because you're just throwing a lot of numbers and information at them, and it's not really, they can't really relate. You have to tell it in the form of a story. You understand? Like, and that's one thing I learned even when, so right now I work in the complaints department, in the company that I work at. And when I'm making presentations, I try to like make it flow, have a good story. Like, you know, when I'm presenting, I usually start from, you know, how many, say, complaints were received, and then after complaints are received, how many were resolved, how many were upheld, and how many open cases do we have now. So I have to, you have to kind of like let it flow. When I'm making presentation, I make sure I'm using meaningful colors as well. So maybe red, to represent, negative things, and then blue or green to represent positive things. So like you have to it has to be meaningful, and you have to keep them engaged, have good stories to keep them going. And also, as a data analyst, you need to be adaptable, you know, like with my role now, I have my hands in so many things. One minute I'm writing a report, next minute I'm building dashboards, next minute I'm doing a presentation, next minute I'm doing something else. Like, there's so many things, next minute I'm coaching someone. There's so many things. So you have to be very adaptable. You have to be able to switch from one thing to the other. And, a lot of time, there's not a lot of time on your hands. So you have to do that very effectively. And also, you have to have collaborative skills, because as a data analyst, you work with a lot of people. I find myself working with so many different people. And a lot of time, in able to deliver your work, you need to be able to have a good working relationship with other people from other teams. Okay. And if you don't have a good relationship with the people, they can mess you about and delay your work. And the longer it takes for them to get back to you, the longer it takes for you to deliver your work as well. And for me, I'm coming from a non-corporate background. Okay, I haven't really worked in corporate before. I work in banking, but it was more on the retail side. So I'm having to learn how to navigate the corporate situation as well. And it was just a lot at the beginning. I was just getting thrown information very fast. Like, sometimes, I'll have and a lot of times as well, and we work from home. I only have to go to office maybe 2, 3 times a month. Okay, so if I need help, I have to reach out to somebody via Teams. There's no one next to me like, oh, how do you do this? I don't have that kind of access, so it's difficult. So if you're not able to have good relationship with your colleagues, sometimes you have to make a lot of effort when the team does things outside of work. You have to also go bond with the team, create good relationships. Otherwise, they can mess you about, and that will lead to you not being able to deliver your work. So it's very, very important. You have to know how to work with people. As a data analyst, I also believe one of the things that helped me as well is you have to have good leadership skills as well, because people rely on you, count on you, and you have to be able to make bold decisions. And there are times where I had to really make bold decisions, otherwise I'd have been thrown under the bus. You understand? So you have to be able to sometimes put your foot down in the nicest way, because someone is telling you to do this, yeah, but you know, if you go and do this and maybe a problem comes, it will be on your head. So how do you put your foot down and say, I like, your suggestion, but I think we should do it this way, type of thing. You have to be able to do that sometimes, so you have to have good leadership skills and, be able to put your foot down as well. You also have to have persuasive skills. You have to be able to persuade people to do things sometimes for you, okay, or agree to things. You understand? You have to be able to know how to persuade people, without offending them. Without offending them, because sometimes, if you come across too strong, it might go left very quickly. You understand? So you have to have very good persuasive skills as well, and also time management. Your time management is very, very important. Like right now, I remember the first 3 months I was stressed because, there was so much. I had so many deadlines, like it was just overwhelming. I had so many things going on. I was working on this, working on that, then this is coming. And in fact, I'm in the same situation again now because we're in a new quarter, and we're about to go again. So many things to work on at the moment, but I have to manage my time very carefully. I have to say no to some work sometimes in order to present what is the priority. You understand? Your time management is very, very important. If you get that wrong, you could really be in a difficult situation if you don't do that. So these are some of the soft skills that I believe are also very, very important as a data analyst. And for me, it's very, very important that you work on that as well, because if it's not, obviously data analysts in different companies vary. Some data analysts focus a lot on, technical things. I'll say it's 50-50. Your soft skills as a data analyst will definitely be tested as well. So make sure while you're learning all your tools or whatever, split up your time. Use 50% of the time as well to also work on your soft skills. Okay, work on your soft skills, because if you don't, then I'm telling you, it's going to be a horrible experience for you as a data analyst. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention. Your soft skills as a data analyst also matter. So really take some time and also work on it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you found any value in this video, then please do well to like and subscribe to my channel. This is a new channel that I've started, so please support me if you found any value, and let's grow the channel. Let's build a wonderful community where we can help each other. My name is Alex. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.